Hey everybody, I'm Ethan James with honestcarpenter.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace individual treads on deck stairs, and I'm also going to give some tips on how to prevent treads from breaking or becoming loose in the future. I had the idea to make this video when I was handling some other repairs around this porch, and I replaced this one tread beneath the rail post. It occurred to me that this is a big problem area on decks and one that poses a real safety concern. This because on most decks, the front tread often overhangs the riser below, so you get this bad cantilever. Deck lumber dries out, nails loosen up, and the action of feet hitting the edge pries these boards up like a seesaw. Weight can even cause the boards to split along grain lines and just break at the front edge. That's the last thing you want to happen when someone is walking down a set of stairs. So I'm going to replace all of these front treads. The back tread often lasts a lot longer because it's better supported, but these tips apply just as well to the back tread. If that's showing wear and tear, you can fix it the same way. The most important thing about replacing deck stair treads is to do it very carefully. I'll show why in a second, but I start out by very gently trying to pry up the board with a large screwdriver. I don't use too much force. Some boards are so loose already that you can work them out completely this way. If a board is down really tight, I don't go straight for a pry bar. Instead, I sometimes use that same screwdriver and a hammer to break the board into pieces. I drive the screwdriver in right beside the nail heads. This forces the wood grain around nail heads to split, so the nails have nothing to hold on to, and I can pull the board out in pieces. It really doesn't take too long to do it when the wood is dry. And here's the reason why I do it this way. The stair stringer, this structural piece below, is actually very weak in places. You see that it's shaped like a sawtooth, and that the grain runs diagonally across the teeth of this saw. Those diagonal lines are places where the stair can easily fracture, so you want to avoid breaking them. I actually have a repair I do for broken stringers, but I'll have to show it in another video because none of these stringers were broken, and obviously I don't want to add damage to this deck. But if your stringers are intact, you really want to avoid breaking them. Don't hit them sideways, and don't force too much leverage down on them. That's why I split some stubborn deck boards. If boards just need a little extra force, I will sometimes use a pry bar like this one, but I do it as slowly as possible. Once the lumber is up, I carefully pry out nails with the nail puller if they'll come. Sometimes they just break right off like that, but if they don't want to pry out, they can usually be driven all the way in with a hammer. By the way, I'm going to link some of these tools in the description, so check down there if you see something that interests you. If you like the channel, this is one of the easiest ways you can help support. When you shop through these links, we get a very small commission at no extra charge for you. It's really a win-win, and every little bit is appreciated. But back to the project, I go through this process for all the treads I'm replacing, and I also clean out any gunk that is collected around the boards. I'm using a 5-in-1 painter's tool to carve this stuff out. I'm always amazed at how much gets down in here. When the old treads are gone, I can measure for the new ones. I frequently do this by just measuring any remaining boards, like this. But if that's not an option, you can pull from the outside edge of one stringer to the outside edge of another. You want a consistent number that fits between the balusters. The replacement lumber I'm using is standard 5/4 decking. It's 1 inch thick and 5.5 inches wide. Virtually all deck lumber comes in these dimensions. I'm going to use a circular saw to make my cuts, but first I want to square up the end of the board to make sure that it's clean and straight. I do this by using a speed square as a guide for my saw. I just clamp the speed square in place with my hand, then guide the edge of the sole plate against it. I'm taking off about 3/4 of an inch here. Now I can pull a measurement from this square end and make a crow's foot mark where I want it. I use my speed square and a pencil to make a straight line at this point. Keep in mind that I'm using a piece of scrap 2x as a prop block to make these cuts. This keeps my saw up off the ground, and it creates a little leverage so the board can fall away after the cut, preventing blade binding. Once again, using the speed square as a guide, I line up the outside of the blade tooth with the plot line and make my cut. There's our replacement piece. I cut all of my replacements at once and set them in place on the stair stringers to check their fit. Everything looks good, so I'm going to attach them. But I'm going to take some extra precautions to prevent the same old problems from happening again. Basically, when replacing these front treads, I like to use a combination of screws and adhesive. And here's why. Notice how the tops of the stringers show these cracks. This is a natural result of fasteners splitting the end grain. If I were to attach straight back in with more fasteners, they would probably just enlarge these cracks, and they might not even grip anything. So I like to apply a very small bead of adhesive to the stringer tops. It's just enough for the next tread to mush down into. I'm using PL Premium Loctite, a very strong adhesive that bonds quickly. Adding glue like this does make this repair more or less permanent, But it seems highly unlikely to me that these stringers would survive a second repair, so I don't mind making these treads permanent because I think any future repairs would involve full stringer replacement at that point. So with the little glue in place, I push the board down into the bead and leave a small 1/8 inch gap between the two boards. For fasteners, I always use screws. They just hold much tighter than nails. These are 2.5 inch exterior grade screws. I use an 1/8 inch bit to pre-drill pilot holes, lining them up with the center of the stringer. I then use an impact driver to drive a screw in and countersink it so the head is recessed just a little bit. I do that for each stringer. But for the front of the board, I often don't trust the stringer there because the wood grain is so sketchy. So instead, I like to carefully put a screw down into the riser. I just line it up by eye, pre-drill, and send a screw in the same way. That step's taken care of. I can now repeat the process for the other steps. And if you're wondering, I did this step beneath the post notch the exact same way. I just split out the old board with the big screwdriver, broke off or pulled out any nails, and slid a new board in on a little adhesive, no different at all. Now that the new treads are in place, I want to bring up one other tip that I think is really important. Down here on the bottom step, the tread overhang is more than 1 inch, and that's just too much. I feel like it's almost guaranteed to break. So sometimes what I do in this situation is add a little ledger strip beneath it. Here I have an old dog ear picket left over from another project. These are 5/8 of an inch thick, which is just right. I set my table saw at a 45-degree angle and rip down some of the board. I then cut it to the length of the bottom step with my circular saw. Then I run adhesive on the back and top of the piece and mush it into place beneath the overhang of the step, and I shoot it with several 2-inch brad nails. When this dries up, it'll give a little extra support to that tread, and I can pretty much ensure that it won't break or detach over time. In a few weeks, the new treads will be ready for stain and weather seal. That's how you replace Deck Stair treads. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, please ask them down in the comments below. Keep your eyes open for more Honest Carpenter videos, and be sure to visit us at thehonestcarpenter.com. Thanks, everybody.